Welcome back to Snack Bar Gaming. This is Garland, Hal, whichever you want to call me. And we're here today to talk about this beautiful Beretta 1301 Tactical. This one has the marine coating. I know I put in my original video when I unboxed this thing that it is stainless. That was wrong. I apologize. I've learned since then. It is essentially a Cerakote that is a little bit more resistant to corrosion and all that, but it's at the end of the day Cerakote, not stainless. So just wanted to correct that off the bat. The way I have this set up currently is I have the Nordic +2 extension. I've got a SIG Romeo 5T on here, and then a 7-round S-Tac card on the receiver, and a 6-round on the stock. So far this gun has done real well. I'm about 500 rounds in. Most of that was Rio 1276 buckshot. I've gone through a little bit of slugs and some other buckshot loads, but this is just what I can get bulk at my local gun store. Shout out to CNS. So that's what I've been running. I ran through 300 rounds in a day with it, no issues. So the only stoppages I've had with this gun so far is when I drop the shell into the chamber. Ideally, I fan this release on my way out to the gun. So the problem I'm having is if I do that fast, every now and then I'll drop that shell in and the charging handle will catch my hand. And what happens is the bolt doesn't seat all the way into battery, and then I have a dead trigger. So that is a training issue on my end, not an issue with the gun, but it's something to be aware of and something I'm actively working on figuring a way around with my training. This bolt release on the 1301, even though it's been causing me these issues, this is my favorite feature of this gun. On the Benelli M4, there's a button that you have to hit to release that bolt, and it takes a fair bit of pressure, and it's a little bit harder to find than this lever. But this lever is just, when you hit it, it takes almost no force. Of course I fucked it up that time. That's the way it goes. And seats right in, and it's a very quick reload. And then, you know, coming down here, dropping one in the tube is real nice and easy, but that's pretty standard across most tactical shotguns. One of the other things I really like about this gun is the trigger is phenomenal for a shotgun. I don't shoot a lot of shotguns, but if one of my rifles had this trigger in it, I wouldn't be too brokenhearted about it. It would definitely be a downgrade from some of my rifles, but I definitely have some rifles that could do with an upgrade to bring the trigger to this quality. So, trigger on this, it's nice and light. It's got a little bit of take up, just a touch, maybe a millimeter or two. I call that 3 millimeters. And then a nice clean break. This thing shoots like a dream. It runs fast, and I know the Blink operating system is like 36% faster than the M4 or whatever. But beyond the actual cycle time of the action, the amount of time it takes for the gun to actually return to target is incredible. It's just, you know, you shoot, it pops up and then comes right back to your point of aim. And in my experience, it is a little more comfortable than the M4. I know me and Mr. Flannel Daddy disagree on that, but I think this gun shoots a little softer than the M4. It's just a good shooting gun, man. I'm really happy with this purchase. I'm definitely going to do some more work to it. I'm waiting on the Magpul stock to come in and the Aridus adapter to put the Magpul stock on it so I can finally mount a sling properly. I'm going to add a light. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do the light. I'm either going to run a light on one side with a tape switch, so I can actuate it from about here. Or I'm just gonna run a long, like a Scout M600, that I can just actuate the button with my thumb, and then run the sling mounting point on the other side. I'm still, you know, kicking around a couple ideas on how I'm gonna do that, but I'll update y'all as that goes. But the work I've done to it so far is the S-Tac cards. Tombstone and I disagree on the efficacy of these cards. He's not a fan of any kind of adhesive on his guns. I don't mind it. He definitely has a point of dirt and debris getting caught up in the glue on this Velcro. Hasn't been an issue for me, but I don't spend as much time running through the woods as he does. So time will tell. He's currently fabbing up a pretty cool design for his, and he has the Eritis forend and all. His 1301s are way nicer than mine, but I'm the one who has the camera, so I'm the one whose gun makes it on video, so suck it. But right now I'm running the Romeo T5. This one came off of my old AR that's been upgraded and changed about 4 times now. I don't have it mounted the way it's supposed to be mounted. Ideally, I would get the Eritis super low co-witness mount. I don't have one yet. I'm still figuring out if I like this optic for this gun. I have another gun that this optic can go on, and I might go to something like a pistol red dot or something like that. It's a little bit more low profile, but time will tell on that, and we will see where that goes. But in general, this is just a good shooting shotgun. The Nordic extension is a little less than ideal. I know Tombstone's running some different stuff on his. I think he's running a +3 that extends past the barrel a good ways. I'm not a fan of that. Tactics are temporary. The drip is eternal. And having a flush fit is kind of about as drip as you can get. But that said, when I go to load, I ghost load this gun, so I can hold a total of 9 rounds of 2 3/4 Rio 1276. That last 7th round in the tube takes a little bit of extra give to get it to actually catch on the interrupter. Is that a problem for me? No, but your mileage may vary. I'm currently using the factory spring from the 5-round tube in the 7-round tube. I haven't had any reliability issues out of it yet, but that's not to say that it won't be an issue in the future, and I will keep y'all updated if that does become an issue. But for right now, it seems to be working okay. But I think the issue is I know the Rio is cut a little bit longer than most 2 3/4 inch shells, so that could be causing part of the issues, but ideally you'd want a little bit more wiggle room with the actual shell capacity in this. I haven't run 3-inch shells in it yet, just because I'm poor and 3-inch shells just aren't available in bulk at the same prices around me. I'll get some eventually, but I have run a couple slugs through it just to sight in the optic, which I haven't sighted it in all the way yet. I kind of threw it on, went down to CNS and shot it, and I got a 2nd round impact on the X after I just threw the optic on. So kind of rolling with it for now. I don't run slugs through this gun in general. I just wanted to get it on paper to where if I throw a pattern to buckshot, I know that, you know, the red dot is, if I aim center mass, the buckshot's going to pretty much hit center mass. But the factory sights on this thing are phenomenal. I really like the factory sights, even though they're polymer. It's a nice ghost ring, which you might be able to see the sight there. It's a ghost ring sight and a front post. But all around, this is just an absolute unit of a shotgun, and I'm really happy with it. There are some issues, and I've definitely put a little wear on it, but I haven't come across any issues with this gun that really bother me. I mean, the forend doesn't really have much modularity to it, but you can put the Eritis forend on it if that's an issue for you. and the checkering on this is a little aggressive for my taste. I know after about 300 rounds I was starting to get a little bit of hot spots on my left hand from it, but that is most likely because I am a little bitch and not because the gun's bad. And if you have a 1301, how do you have it set up? Do you run brass up, brass down on your shell carriers? I'm still tweaking the way I'm running mine. I like brass down on this receiver side so that when I go to single load, I can just pop a shell in and then fan that bolt release and I'm back in the fight. But I know I was out at the range with someone the other day who was a lefty, and when he was running the gun left-handed, he came across, let me flip this carrier around, one of the benefits of the S-Tac carrier. If I don't like the way my shells are sitting, I can flip them over. So the way he was running it, he ran it, came right over, back to it. I'm garbage running a gun left-handed, but he was actually about a half second faster on that reload than I was. So your mileage may vary. Just figure out what you like. You're just gonna have to, you know, run your gun instead of making it a safe queen. And above all else, get training. I know shotgun training is a little bit harder to find than pistol training, especially, and mostly rifle training. But if you can find a good training class with a shotgun, I recommend it. I'm currently looking for one because I wanna get good. So anyways, thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great day.